In this video, I'll be showing you a new feature within Power App's model driven app named as Row Summary. Now, just to give you a context, this is my model driven app which lists down most of the airlines within the world. So it's named as World Airlines Management System. Now, the airline table has a set of fields named as name, total staff, total aircraft, flying class, and some other parameters which helps in managing the airlines related services. Now, as you see over here, now let me just close this view. As you see this model driven app, now this is the general model driven app form, right? So you have a header, you have a field area, and you have a set of sections in a field area. Now, apart from all this thing, you will see on the top there is something called as a summary. Now, what the summary is, it gives you basically the summarized information about all the content within the form or whatever you tailor the prompts to be. So, for this example, like it says, based on the provided data, here is a summary of the airline. Now, if I go into another airline, so let me go into another airline, say Cathay Pacific over here. Now, it will say, based on the provided data, Cathay Pacific is an airline with a total of 400 aircraft and 221 staff members. Now, what it has done, it has given me is summarized information. Now, why this information is important is because if you have a user within your organization who is managing this record, or maybe a user who is consuming these set of record set, they need not have a look into any of the content within the form. Rather than they will just get a summarized information and then they can provide their decision or provide an action according to the summarized information. Now, this entire summary can be configured using a prompt. Now, as you see on the right, we have expansion and collapsion control over here. And if I click on refresh, it will automatically generate another summary. Okay. So it has given you in a different format. Okay, now you can even copy the summary and you can say like and dislike based on the content provided by the summary. Now, if I go into the list view in the airlines, so if I just hover my mouse, as you see over here, you can see the summary over here also. Now, if I click on it, again the same set of information is being displayed and I can copy the summary. Now, what exactly is a summarized information named as row summary in a model driven app? So basically, the collapsible summary bar at the top of a model driven app form can be customized by makers to give users the most important information at a glance in from a context of a table rows perspective. When generated, the row summary can also include text, it can include a hyperlink or a related information, making it easy to copy and paste summaries to colleagues using tools like, say, Microsoft Teams or Microsoft SharePoint. Now, how do we enable this? Now, for that, make sure that you in the Power Platform Admin Center you have AI Insight cards ready and AI Insight feature. All those AI Insight related features needs to be turned on. Now, let me go into the backend. So, if I go into, say, airline core solution, so I've already created a solution, and in the solution, I have a set of tables. Now, I've already enabled it for airlines, but I can show it for other tables. Now, as you see in airlines, if I go into airline table, under customization, you will see something called as row summary, and it will say row summary is applied. Okay, so we'll go through this content, but before than that, let me show you for some other table. Now, before I go into other table, let me go into, say, aircraft models. Now, if I go to aircraft models, now as you see, there is no summary over here. If I go to destination cities, there is no summary over here. Why? Because I haven't enabled the summary, row summary for these tables. So I haven't enabled summary for destination cities, aircraft models, or maybe flying class. It is only enabled for airlines. Now, if you just hover over airlines, see, you can see the summary. But if you go to destination cities, I don't see anything. Aircraft model, no. Now, let's go ahead and enable, say, for aircraft models. So I have this aircraft model table over here. Now, in order to enable it, what you need to do is you need to go ahead and click on this customization row summary over here. So under customization, click on row summary. Now, as you see in the bracket, it is not showing as applied because it is not yet applied. If you click on row summary, you will be taken to a prompt page which will have an instruction and it will have a model response. So what you need to do is you need to provide an instruction, so like a prompt, and you can also test what the model will reply. Now, as you see over here, it has already given you the jump start. It says summarize aircraft model with. Okay, so now here if you just put the cursor, so let me zoom it a bit. So summarize aircraft model with. Now you have an option to add a data. Now if I click on add a data, I can either add a that same record id for an aircraft model. So when I say record id means this one row. So I can specify that, or I can go into the aircraft model table and I can pick up whatever value I want. Now, in my case, I have something called as name and type and range. Okay, so here I can specify name, add, and I can start writing the prompt summarize aircraft model with aircraft model name and also provide information about. And if I put a slash, or maybe I can just use add data and then navigate range and slash, and I will just say type. Now I cannot directly type in type. I just need to specify slash aircraft model and then go ahead and select type. Now, for this example, we will just keep it very simple. So what we want is like in the summary bar, we want summarize aircraft model with the aircraft model name and also provide information about the range and the type. Now let's test this. Now once we test this, what Power Apps is going to do is it's going to pick up say one row from the table and it will give you the response over here. Okay, so if I click on test over here, it will start looking into the prompt and then it has given you the output. So aircraft model summarized from the provided data is Airbus AAT range, long range, wide body. This information indicates that AAT is designed for long distance travel and is a wide body structure, and it will give you whole set of information. Now if you're not happy with it, you can again generate and see the information, or you can tweak your prompt, but for time being we will just make use of this content. Now, if you see over here, there is a button called a show knowledge used. So if I click on show knowledge used, it will show you that it is coming from a table and it is coming from this ID 49891 Airbus 80. Okay, so this is that record. So if I go inside this record, see this record ID. So it is coming from this record. So it has given this example from where it is coming. Now we have an option to get the output in text or in a JSON format. Now, if I click on JSON, it will show you this JSON format, which this format was already in JSON. Now I can go ahead and select text as well, go to show response, and this is how the output will be structured. Now, once you're done with everything, now remember this is in a preview mode, so please do not use this in your production until it is generally available. Uh, Now we have an option to apply to the main form. Now I'll click on apply to main form. So it will start applying it to the main form within the aircraft model table. And once that is done, and once it is all saved, then what will happen is like if you go into the aircraft model and if you hover your mouse, you should see an icon over here which will help you summarize the information. Also, if you navigate inside a record, then you should see a summary bar. Now your new summary has been created and applied to all form. To see it, go to the forms page and open a main form. Now let me go into the aircraft model over here. Just do a hard refresh. It might take some time for the information to appear, but once it is published, you should be able to see the information. Now, as you see, I hover the mouse and you see this summary, right? Now let me show you here. If I just hover, I can see the summary. Now if I go inside say one of the record and click on summary, it will generate the summary and it will allow you to copy the text. So for Boeing 737, it has given me the information as aircraft model summarized, and the information highlights Boeing as a medium range wide body aircraft. If you need more details or have further question, feel free to ask. So again, you can copy this content, or if you want to see this information and not copy it in a form based, so you can go into say specific record set, and then on the top you will see this summary. And this is how you can generate the summary per table wise. Now where we have made all these changes, now in airlines, now when we go into say one of the airlines, now in the airlines we have seen that the summary appears on the top, but where does it appear within the solution level? So let me close this and go into the airline table. Now in the airline table, once this row summary is applied, you should see this row summary applied, right? Now if I click on row summary applied, it will take me to that same prompt page. Now here I have already summarized airlines with total aircraft and total staff, and it has given me a prompt. I have tested it, and the model response is provided based on the provided data. So it has picked up one record, and then it has given me some output. So if I clicked on show knowledge or show response, then I can see the corresponding JSON, and then I applied it to main form. Now, as you see over here, we have already applied for airlines. Now, how, say, take for example, now we have used for, say, we have tested this functionality for airlines, for aircraft models. Now we think that, oh, no, we do not want this for airlines. Okay, so we don't want the summary to be shown. Then how do we go ahead and remove the summarized information? Now, for that, it is simple. What you need to do is like, there is no way through which you can edit the row summary from here. What you need to do is go into the forms, because everything is applied at a form level, and this row summary is applied to the main form. So navigate to the data experiences form, and as you see under information, you will see that the row summary is applied to all main forms. So all main forms made from the airline table and will appear in every model driven app that uses this form. Now for that, what we can do is, let me go into this main form over here. Now I don't have any option directly within a form context, right? What you need to do is like just remove the selection and go to row summary at the top, and then from here we can say show on all main form, or hide on all main forms, or edit summary. Now if I click on edit summary, it will again take me back to that prompt page, right, whereby I can modify the prompt. Now I don't want to go there. The only goal for me to work on is hide on all main form. So I'll go ahead and hide on all main form, and it say hide on all main form succeeded. Now if I go into the airlines, you will see it's just row summary and it is not row summary applied. Now just to verify, you go to the airlines over here. Now if you hover your mouse, you should not be able to see the summary. But like I just need to do a hard refresh because it was picking up the previous work state. So if I go into the airlines, now as you see, the summary has disappeared. Now it has disappeared from here. And also if I go inside, if I just hover mouse, I will not be able to see the summarized information. So if you want to know more about row summary, have a look into the learn article. So Microsoft has provided us a nice help guide on how to configure a row summary for a model driven app. Remember, this is a preview feature. Preview features aren't meant for production. What are the prerequisites for configuring a row summary? A Power Platform admin has enabled the AI Insights card environment setting. So if you have enabled that, then only you will be able to see the AI summary card. Now, how to do that? You go to admin, Power Platform Admin Center, navigate to the specific environment, and go to settings. Then navigate to product features. So let me go to manage. Select the right environment, click on settings, product, features, and you can start searching for insights. So AI Insight Card record summaries and other Copilot insights will appear on the main form. So this setting needs to be turned on. And if you want to read some other things like how to write a prompt, now one example I would show you, like for one content, like as you see over here, if you want to see some more detailed information, you can start writing the prompt. So it says summarize account record in a way that is easy to understand for a sales manager. Now this is for a specific contact sales record. Make sure to include all important information, including main ideas and important details. Remove any repetitive elements. Don't include title in the summary. For the second paragraph, use the data under the header activity. Leave a blank line between two paragraphs. And then from a data perspective, show the below value as bullet points. From an activity perspective, generate a summary paragraph using the following customer comp fields. So you can make your prompt as big as you like, provided it follows within the general standard limit. And also you can include various things like, here we have put a specific note that don't include title in the summary, or create the summary in two paragraph, or leave a blank line between the two paragraphs. So we can customize our response by providing those specific instructions to the language model. So that's it, folks. This is all about row summary within Power Apps model driven app. Thanks for watching.